First of all, excuse my messy hair. It's in the awkward phase while I'm growing it back out. I don't like anything about it right now. It was cute when I first cut it, but it's gotta go back out again. If only it was that easy to grow it out. But anyway, the topic of the video is a big reality check. If you think you want a baby, man, there's a lot to consider. I had 2 myself. They're teenagers now. Let me tell you, everybody knows that babies are expensive. You've got to think about diapers, wipes, furniture, such as crib, high chair, bottles, all the formula. You gotta think of a car seat and how to properly install it for the kids' safety. Clothes up the wazooey. And then there's things that people don't really think about, such as doctor visits, which you might have insurance for that, but still, you say you have a job, but your kid is sick. Well, guess what? You have to take your kid into the doctor instead of going to work, so that costs you money, because that's money you could have made. So instead, you're sitting in a doctor's office with your sick kid and any other sick kid that's in that place, coughing and sneezing and getting snot everywhere, and you're wanting to put a protective shield over you and your baby, but that would not be good manners, because other moms could get offended and cause a scene, and what, I don't know, maybe not. So anyways, and then the babysitter. Okay, so maybe the kid is sick, doesn't need a doctor, but you need a sitter so you can go to work, but you're still paying the babysitter or daycare, so it's still costing you. Yeah, there's programs that help a little bit if you qualify, but yeah, why bother worrying about that? All the paperwork and everything, and then of course say goodbye to your nice skinny stretch mark free body. Yeah, say goodbye to that, because if you're like me, you're gonna gain a lot of weight. Plus I had health issues. I had preeclampsia, which means I swelled up with fluid really bad, and then luckily I did not need a C-section. I had my kids naturally, which the first one took 36 hours for him to be born, from the time I knew I was in labor to the time he went and the second one was a little quicker. He only took 12 hours. My body kind of remembered what to do. But yeah, there's countless things that people don't think about, especially the young ones, the young moms who think, oh, I need a baby because he'll love me, or she, or maybe this is what's gonna make my boyfriend stay with me. It just will complicate your situation a lot more, especially if you haven't graduated high school yet. Now, if you already have a kid and you're a teenager, stay strong. You can do this. You got it. You got this. I hope you have a strong support system. It is all worth it. But I'm just saying, before you think that you want to go through pregnancy and all that stuff, for the presents or for whatever reason, because babies are so cute. Let me tell you, babies are not an accessory. They are a person. And you have to take this little squalling newborn, and you have 18 years to turn it into a responsible, hopefully God-fearing adult member of society, and hopefully they will have the sense to also wait until they're ready to have children. So don't be going around doing hanky-panky. So don't get pregnant to begin with. And your life will go a lot easier, less complicated. Maybe it's not easy, but babies make it harder. You have to think about every aspect of your life. And yes, they are cute. Oh my word, the pictures that people put on Facebook now with the filters and with the props and whatever, just everybody's a photographer. They're adorable. Not so adorable when it's 2 in the morning and they just blew out their diaper and you have to change it and it stinks to high heaven. You wonder how on earth is this possible that the sweet little kid made such a mess. Or they puked all over you or in themselves and spiked a fever, and you have to worry about taking their temperature and giving them the right dose of medicine. And then there's all the controversy. Do you immunize or not? Do you breastfeed or not? Do you whatever? And you got the sweet old ladies saying, that's not how I did things with my kids. And then you got the other parents saying, but not everybody's judging. Again, I hope you have a good support system. These are just things that I went through. Like when I nursed my older one and we were in public, I got sent to the bathroom. I had to nurse while sitting on a toilet with the door shut because nobody wanted to see that. One lady took it even further. I had to go to the family restroom and do it in there. And I was like, screw that. And I went to the regular restroom, and she saw me through the crack in the stall door and said, I told you to go to the family restroom to do that. I'm just like, this is the ladies' bathroom. And my son is hungry. So, one time I was just like, forget it. And I started nursing him, but I had the blanket on him, but I was sitting somewhere where I could be seen, and somebody was like, there are men here and children here and you shouldn't be doing that. And this very nice old lady, she came up to me and I never forgot it. She said, don't you listen to them. You are doing the best thing for your baby and it's beautiful. You don't even pay attention to them. And so that was nice. Once in a while I got some encouragement. And it was a lot easier and cheaper to nurse, especially like in the middle of the night. I didn't have to worry about wearing a bottle or whatever. But some people, for whatever reason, can't. My second one, I couldn't because of the medication I was on for depression. So, yeah, a lot of meds you can't take when you're pregnant or when you're nursing because it will go to the baby and it could be fatal. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. They could have a genetic problem, or they could have anything go wrong, but it doesn't mean you just abort. Do not abort. I tell you what, if your child wasn't supposed to be here, God would not have allowed it to be conceived. But just if there is a problem, you can count on more doctor visits than you can imagine. Sometimes you have to go far away to them, so you have to worry about transportation if you don't have a car. And extra medications that they have to take every single day, and procedures, surgeries maybe, and then they do things sometimes. Any kid, like they get hurt, they fall and break their arm or something, and through all this stuff you have to try to be patient, try to hold on to every bit of sanity you can, and forget about me time, okay? When you got pregnant, it stopped being about you. I mean, yeah, it's partly about you, but number one in your world should be your children. And just be ready, okay? Don't do what I did. And that's what people would have told me to, and I wouldn't have listened, but if you're smart, you will listen, especially in this crazy world. Grow up. graduate, go to college and graduate, or find an excellent job or trade. It doesn't have to be college. You can go to trade school. Just do something that's going to make you a decent amount of money. You don't have to be rich, but and a savings would be nice, and of course, being married to the right person, not just, I tell the ladies now, girls, I say, marry Mr. Right, not Mr. Right now. Mr. Right for you, no matter what, come hell or high water. Whatever goes on, whatever, in sickness and health, for better and worse, not until you feel like you don't love each other anymore, but forever. If you can do that, if you can be with the same guy through thick and thin, through disaster and wonderful times, until you are both about 80 years old, go for it. You have my blessing and the best of luck to you. And I know Christians don't believe in luck, but God's blessings on that. And make sure you keep God in the marriage. And then you can add children. So, yeah. I don't know what else I wanted to say, but this is just my advice. I mean, it's your life. Fine. You do what you want, but I tell you what, I had my oldest son out of wedlock. I could not take care of him on my own for more than a couple years. I ran out of money, had plenty of love, but that wasn't enough. And I had to let his grandparents take over raising him. So I had to say goodbye to him. And, I'm telling you, my whole heart went with him. And after they first left with him, because I was in Florida and they were in Michigan, and they took him to Michigan, I should have climbed in the car too. I didn't even think about that, but if I had, I wouldn't have Zach. But anyway, when he was first gone, I sat down in the living room like, what do I do now? And then I was sure I heard him cry. I was absolutely positive I heard him cry. So I stood up to go get him, and then I remembered he's not here. And I tell you what, it was horrible. It was horrible. But if I had done things right, I wouldn't have had to do that. But it was the best thing for him, because I didn't have stability. I didn't have money. I didn't have my own food. I was eating at neighbors' houses, and I knew he deserved better than that. So they did adopt him, and he's 17 now. So, I tell you what, just do things right and in the right timeline, and you will have a much better quality life. So, but if you've already, done, things differently, like the hard way, just stick it out, hang in there. It'll be okay. It will be okay. Okay? So, okay, I'm trying to make this at 15 minutes. So, I don't want to waste everybody's time. I mean, too much. It's not a waste of time, but you know what I mean. I'm rambling, so it's time to go. So, I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you next time, or you will see me next time. All right, bye-bye.